This is CBC Winnipeg News.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Brittany is away tonight. One of Winnipeg's most recognizable landmarks is now coming down. Demolition began today on the first section of the Arlington Bridge. It is expected to take until next year for the entire structure to be dismantled. And as the CBC's Cameron McLean reports, it marks the start of a years-long project to replace the more than century-old structure.
The Arlington Bridge is coming down. After weeks of preparation, crews have now removed the first section of the 114-year-old Arlington Bridge.
Today is the first day of the real action on the bridge.
Damir Maherdarovich is the city's bridge projects engineer and manager on the demolition project. He says crews began by slicing through the concrete span so it can be removed in one piece.
So basically what we're doing is the bridge has been cut while it's being supported on sea cans or on basically shipping containers underneath.
Those containers are mounted on these self-propelled modular transport machines, which slowly slide the bridge section off to the side, where it can be lowered to the ground and demolished. The project is complicated because the bridge crosses the Canadian Pacific Rail Yard, which is still active.
The rail yard told us that we have to give them a schedule in about 15-minute intervals, which is a very tough thing to achieve.
The bridge closed suddenly in November 2023 due to structural problems, severing a major link between North and South Winnipeg.
This is an important day, marking the turning point where we can begin now to look forward to the new design of the new bridge.
The city has budgeted $17 million for the demolition and $5 million for the new design. A new bridge is expected to cost far more. The first phase of the demolition will continue through the summer. Work on the spans over the tracks will wrap up by the end of August. Crews will then demolish the southern approach ramp in September. The rest of the bridge is expected to be gone by the end of next year. Work on designing a new bridge has already begun, but funding for construction has yet to be secured. Cameron McLean, CBC News, Winnipeg.
A Manitoba sheriff is being remembered as a hard-working dad who had another baby on the way. Brett Matheson May-Toyashing died Tuesday. The 27-year-old was driving a sheriff's van with a co-worker when they collided with a train west of Portage la Prairie. His family is reeling from the loss, but touched by the outpouring of condolences.
People feel seen, provided guidance when it mattered, but also be silly and not serious at the same time. Like, there is a balance there, and based on those, he had many different types of relationships.
The family says they have heard the crash appears to have been a terrible accident. However, RCMP are continuing to investigate. A neighborhood association in Old St. Vital wants to better protect the city's tree canopy. It comes as the City of Winnipeg considers new rules governing trees as part of a review of land use regulations. Matt Humphrey on how the city is now trying to balance housing development while preserving the urban tree canopy.
The system is being gamed and the city has no mechanism to stop it. Winnipeg's tree canopy sits at just 17% right now.
A social media campaign paired with an online petition. The Glenwood Neighborhood Association wants developers to have to ask permission before cutting down trees on properties they own.
Right now, they can come in, buy a property, clear cut all the trees, and then apply for the development. So the city has no say in what's happening with the trees. So we would like to change that.
Association Chair Debbie Vokey sent a list of recommendations to City Hall as councillors decide on new bylaws.
And I'm going to quote from the 11-page document that we sent in.
Please.
This is what we suggested. Tree removal should be considered as development and thus require a permit.
Not far from her home, several old trees were cut down to make space for housing on Morier Avenue. The removal work was done by Bulldog Demolition and Excavation. Bulldog's Eric Fleury says he loves urban canopies, but removing trees before construction is a practical issue.
You can't move excavators around these sites nor building materials without these sites being cleared of trees. The roots themselves will cause damage to the infrastructure being put in place.
City Councillor Janice Lukes agrees Winnipeg needs a better bylaw.
We're working on developing a tree bylaw that respects private ownership, but also respects the importance of having a good tree canopy.
Lukes thinks the city can turn a new leaf.
Well, it exists in other cities, right? So the bureaucrats are going through analysis of other cities and what they can do, and they'll be bringing something forward for us to vote on.
Right now, Winnipeg has 2 zoning bylaws, one for downtown and then one for the rest of the city. Those were written about 20 years ago. By creating a new modern bylaw for the whole city, officials hope it'll be easier to use. But at this point, it's too soon to tell whether the neighborhood association's recommendations will take root. Matt Humphrey, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Winnipeg won't continue a pedestrian scramble pilot project in the Exchange District. The city says the King and Bannatyne intersection didn't attract enough foot traffic to justify keeping the crossing, and there are no plans for another scramble in the city. However, Osborne Village Biz Executive Director Zoe Gervais says the pilot was tested at an intersection with 2 one-way streets that is suboptimal and therefore isn't surprised the pilot project failed. The city rejected a Biz proposal to install a pedestrian scramble at River and Osborne in 2024. Gervais would like to see the city give that idea another chance. Meantime, Winnipeg City Council is setting aside more money to clean up needles and other hazardous items from public spaces. The city has crews already doing that work since last year at some parks. Now, though, staff will also collect and discard the biohazardous sharps at bus shelters, library grounds, and riverbanks over the next 5 months. Councillor Sherry Rowland says expanding the effort is important to address the growing impacts of substance abuse.
Our goal here in this council should be to build a coordinated system that helps people in crisis, support frontline workers, and protects public spaces, yes, but restores that confidence.
The city will pay for the additional sweep using over $200,000 initially set aside for the operation of a program out of Nadinawaymak. The province closed the shelter in April. It's unclear how the funding will be spent or where the city will do the cleanup, but the mayor says the city expects to focus on cleaning up areas where there have been 311 complaints. Multiple locations across the country are facing evacuation orders tonight due to out-of-control wildfires. Some of the most severe are in northwestern Ontario, where flames have put remote communities at risk. The CBC's Chien Desjardins has the latest from Thunder Bay.
It's still very smoky here in Thunder Bay. Close to 200 wildfires are burning in Ontario. We're told it's very much a changing, developing situation. Now, Thunder Bay isn't under an evacuation order, but it is serving as more of a hub for those communities that have had to evacuate. We know that there's more than half a dozen of them. They're staying at universities. Some people are staying in trailers. Others are staying in hotels. Now, we did just have a press conference inside this hotel, which is where some evacuees from White Sand First Nations are staying. They told us stories about how there was a fire that was rolling down towards the community. They had to start evacuating in the middle of the night. They weren't able to take very much with them, and they feel like they had very little support from the province.
The response from the Ontario Ministry of Natural Resources did not reflect the urgency of the situation facing White Sand First Nation and surrounding areas, including Collins.
The chief from Collins First Nation also spoke today.
Like, the tears come and go, and as their leader, they're looking to me to lead them. So it's not that I don't cry, I do it all the time now, but you know, they're here and I need to be strong for them.
There is a donation hub set up here as well for people to wander and pick up what they need. We were able to speak with the city manager. They told us that hotel rooms are essentially at capacity. So if another area does have to evacuate, hotel rooms here, they're full. Now, they say they do have those bigger spaces that they could open if they get a request from the province to do so. So far, that official request hasn't come in. Now, the province has requested help from the federal government. And we heard earlier today, Prime Minister Mark Carney saying they're ready to help when needed. Chien Desjardins, CBC News, Thunder Bay.
All right, time for our first check on our forecast, and we're starting with a look from our tower cam from CBC here looking eastward, and you can kind of see that milky gray sky against the skyscrapers, against the buildings in the downtown. That is all smoke from wildfires that has pushed into the province thanks to the east to southeasterly wind that we've seen across much of southern Manitoba today. So that's prompted a yellow level air quality warning for the city of Winnipeg, the Interlake, stretching westward to Brandon and south central Manitoba, and northern parts of the province also under a warning because of the wildfires burning in our province, in Saskatchewan, and also some smoke moving southward from the territory. So you can see some of that on our forecast smoke outlook here, and you can see all of that activity centered on northwestern Ontario. We'll see a shift in winds as we get through the night tonight. That should help ease the situation in southern Manitoba, but northern Manitoba looking at some fairly hazy or even locally smoky conditions as we head through the next couple of days. I'll have your full forecast coming up in just a bit. And still ahead for us tonight, family members who have lost loved ones to overdoses are calling on the government to address the toxic drug crisis. After the break, we'll tell you what they want to see. Stay with us. Welcome back. 2 women who lost loved ones to overdoses are calling for a safer supply of pharmaceutical-grade drugs. With Manitoba in the grips of a toxic drug crisis, the women want people to be able to access an alternative to illicit and unregulated street drugs. The CBC's Alana Cole explains.
This is Destiny Taliu. Her Aunt Tammy remembers the 22-year-old university student as smart and compassionate. She died from a fentanyl overdose in 2018. Tammy says Destiny and her boyfriend thought they were buying heroin.
I think that the whole fact that she died of a fentanyl poisoning was a shock to my family, because that's not what she intended on purchasing that day.
Since Destiny died, Tammy's watched the number of overdose deaths rise. Preliminary numbers from Manitoba's medical examiners show 388 suspected substance-related deaths last year, 37 this January. She's calling for access to a safer supply of pharmaceutical-grade drugs, an alternative to the toxic supply.
You have to stop the deaths before people can do anything else.
She's not alone. Arlene Laskolb lost her son Jesse to a fentanyl overdose in 2014. She says a supervised consumption site, more treatment beds, or addiction clinics won't change what's on the streets.
I think that it is negligent of our government to think that they are going to be faster than what's on our streets. And they've proven that they haven't.
BC offers prescribed safer supply. Dr. Paxton Bach says the vast majority of people get hydromorphone, along with some form of opioid agonist therapy to help control cravings and withdrawal. He says early evidence on safer supply from both BC and Ontario suggests it can reduce risk.
We don't have longer-term data as to what this means over time, but at least in the short term, there's pretty good reason to think that it can be a helpful tool in reducing people's risk of overdose death.
Bach says there's more to learn about the impacts of these programs. BC now requires a pharmacist or medical professional to witness prescribed doses, following concerns around the drugs ending up in the community. He says any safer supply plan should consider many perspectives: medical experts, policymakers, and people with lived experience.
All I ask is that people come to the table with an appreciation of the nuance and the sophistication of the type of discussion that's involved, an appreciation for the level of urgency we need to be showing here, and a willingness to talk about these things and to really understand the details.
The Premier wasn't available for an interview. A statement from a government spokesperson says they've been clear. They won't be providing safer supply here. It went on to say, in part, they're expanding harm reduction supports like drug checking machines. Alana Cole, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Temperatures at a seniors' care home in West St. Paul are moving in the right direction. The air conditioning at Middle Church Home broke in last week's heat wave, with some residents having to endure temperatures indoors above 30 degrees. The province says a number of industrial portable air conditioning units were brought in to bring temperatures down. The facility is still waiting for a replacement part needed to fix the building's air conditioning system. Prairie storms earlier this season have racked up millions of dollars in damages. The Insurance Bureau of Canada says severe storms in Manitoba and Saskatchewan in June caused more than $728 million in insured damage. It says the costs came after the storms brought hail, tornadoes, high winds, and torrential rain that led to flash flooding. Manitoba Public Insurance says the storm blew through the record number of claims for a single weather event, with more than 30,000 claims. The previous record was 24,000 for a hailstorm in 1996. Manitoba was also hit by another major storm system at the end of June that led to widespread flooding in the Parkland region. Last month's massive flooding tore through a popular campground near Inglis. Its owner says she's not sure what the future holds for the area. Now, this is how the Assisipi Beach and Campground looked before, a well-known camping spot for nearly 70 years, and this is what it looks like now, following 2 floods in June. The owner says the first flood took out a road. Later that month, torrents of water washed out massive chunks of land, destroying 14 out of 22 campsites along the river.
The power of Mother Nature is crazy. Like, it's just, what do? You can't control it, eh? So you just gotta figure out what to do. I don't know if we'll find some other area to relocate sites to. Like, we don't really have the room.
She says most of the roads to the area have yet to be repaired, so she doesn't know how much will be needed to be replaced. She says insurance doesn't cover this kind of flooding, and she is not sure how much government disaster financial assistance will provide. And parts of the province could be in for more severe weather as we head through the evening and the overnight hours tonight, on top of some of the smoke that we've seen moving into southeastern Manitoba and into parts of the Interlake as we've advanced through the day today. So let's have a look at the watches and warnings. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch in place now for the southwestern corner of the province along the international border, Melita, Boissevain, into Morden-Winkler, and into the Red River Valley in the southern Interlake, including the city of Winnipeg. We could see some severe thunderstorms that bring some large hail, some damaging winds, heavy downpours, and even tornadoes as we head through the evening. This is all the result of a frontal system that's pushing in from Saskatchewan and mainly looking at the development of some of that severe weather along the international border as we head into the evening hours tonight. This is on top of what we already saw through the early morning hours today. Some rain along and south of the Trans-Canada Highway into the city of Winnipeg. Most places a pretty general 5 to 15 millimeters. However, where we did see some of those thunderstorms into Minnedosa and Neepawa, for example, we did see some stronger downpours throughout the early morning hours today. What's left is some scattered showers into eastern Manitoba, northwestern Ontario, and some of that development into the extreme southern part of the province, and quite a bit more cloud cover than in the past few days across much of northern Manitoba as well. So as we advance into Friday, there's a look at the evening as we see the potential for some of that thunderstorm development through the night tonight into the Red River Valley and into northwestern Ontario into the pre-dawn hours. So keep an eye on the sky, keep your ear out for any alerts that might be issued as we head through the night tonight. And then high pressure will set in as we get through the day on Friday. Maybe a few scattered showers yet to come, but high pressure will start to clear us out as we head into the day on Friday and into Saturday, and that will also drive up temperatures and humidity once again as we head into the weekend. I'm watching the potential with some of that heat and humidity as we get into Sunday of perhaps more scattered showers or thunderstorms as we get through into the later part of the weekend. All right, looking at your forecast as we head into Friday, looking at air quality health index maximums around 9, particularly early in the day for the Red River Valley, Winnipeg into southeastern parts of the province, and more like a 5, which is in that moderate range into the southwest corner of the province. So when we're seeing levels that high, even if you're healthy, might be a good idea to reconsider some of those outdoor activities, at least through the evening tonight. Things should start to improve as we head into the day tomorrow, up to 26 with a good chance of some scattered showers or thunderstorms in Thompson, and some showers pushing into the northeastern part of the province as well. And I will have a look at your 7-day forecast. Here's a quick peek at the weekend, though, looking at 30 degrees for both Saturday and Sunday, and things looking a bit muggy as well, 35 to 38 for humidex values as we head through the weekend. Coming up, imagine getting to take the stage with your country music idol. It was a dream come true for a Saskatchewan woman last weekend. That story when we come back. Stay with us. 12 Manitobans received the Order of Manitoba this afternoon.
Your Honor, Chantal Kreviazek.
Among them, as you see here, three-time Juno winner Chantal Kreviazek, former Manitoba Premier Brian Pallister, and former CFL and Blue Bomber running back Andrew Harris. That leads us to our dog walking forecast. And tonight, the dog walking forecast taking us to Grand Beach, where may not be the best beach day tomorrow, but Benny sure likes going for a walk in the campground there with Bruce, if you can see them off in the distance. Thank you, Liz, for sending this picture in. Send yours to talkback at cbc.ca. So likely a cloudy start, maybe some scattered showers first thing in the morning and then up to 23 in the afternoon. A shift in winds should help with the air quality across southern Manitoba to a more northwesterly flow. Could still be a bit hazy at times. So watch the air quality health index as we get through the day. Tomorrow, 30s for the weekend. Quite muggy as we get into Sunday with that thunderstorm risk, and then temperatures stabilize as we get into early next week. Close to 25 for Tuesday and 29 for Wednesday. Well, a northern Saskatchewan woman had a pinch me moment at Country Thunder this past weekend. She had the chance to take the stage with one of her country music idols. I like that song. That was country superstar Riley Green performing his most popular duet, but it wasn't with Ella Langley who joined him on the stage. It was Lyran Sylvester Piché who performs under the name Leah Mack, who was originally from the northern community of Birch Narrows Dene Nation in Saskatchewan. She was spotted by the superstar with her sign that asked to join him in singing the hit, "You Look Like You Love Me." Green called her up and she got to sing to tens of thousands of people.
If you listen clearly, like closely, you can hear me shaking a little bit, but then something snapped and I was like, this is where I'm used to this. I should be used to this. And this is where I feel like I belong. That was the most wicked experience ever. And I hope that more people can try to do things like that, because there's no reason to be shy. There's no reason to care about what people think about you.
Now, Leah Mack says she's still amazed by this moment and it has inspired her to keep pursuing her music career. How great is that? Thank you so much for being with us on this Thursday. I hope to see you again tomorrow. Have a great night.